So you're still at war with the allies. Let's try to finish off France if we can. Yep, Arthur, I saw it. Maybe I have a couple of subscribers that ask me to do some video in Portuguese, including Arthur. Maybe one day, I'm not sure. I probably will, since there are lots of people watching my channel from Brazil and a few from Portugal, so I guess you guys deserve it. But the reason why I speak in English is to try to reach more people. Okay, let's continue with this. Try to defeat France if at all possible. I think it is. But let's check some stuff. We have 580 influence. We're about to need more manpower. We need more troops to deploy in the ports. But we lack equipment. I don't recall if I made a variant. Yes, I did. I increased the reliability. Good. So let's continue. Where are the spearheads? Right there. We are already using some tanks. But these guys break down very easily, and especially if they're suffering attrition like this. Attrition is very deadly in this game. We have too many troops inside of this state. And the biggest effect on the attrition has a huge impact on the losses, equipment losses. In 11 days I'm gonna search some stuff to try to minimize the effect of the attrition. We have supply companies, I think. Logistic company 1. This is gonna help. Hello, G33 40 and Mulli Arnator. Okay, let's play. So let's maybe hit these guys. Very hard to see the provinces in some places. I'm using the same resolution as yesterday. Okay, let's see if we can grab this fort. I'm seeing Canadians over here. Fort. Canadian and British, no more no less than 14 divisions, I think. Yep. stop it. I guess I'm gonna shift my offensive over here. There are too many troops over there. I'm gonna encircle and destroy them, if at all possible. What do you mean, G? The AI does not respond in the last video. I don't understand. You're saying the AI is passive? The thing is, the AI has no chances of replying to what I'm doing. I'm too strong for them. That's when I attack, I usually use so much firepower that they simply cannot do anything. If I don't use the... If I don't have overwhelming firepower, I simply stop. Like this. I'm winning, but this is gonna last forever. Over here it says we estimate that the battle will last less than a day, but it will probably last actually forever, especially if they reinforce it. But let's see. Actually, we've managed. These are probably planes. Yes, planes. That's why. But if they're in tough terrain, the battles last forever. And the longer the battle lasts, the more casualties I will have, the more equipment I will lose. It's not, like I said before, it's not great either to have be suffering attrition like this. So, dudes are about to lose some 14 divisions. Patience, big boy. I will reach Paris. Like I said 1,000 times, I'm trying to avoid casualties as much as I can. Because the manpower is very precious. So we want to hit them really hard. This is causing me a shit ton of equipment. Okay, these guys are gonna hold the lines great while we focus on destroying these divisions, delivering a rather powerful blow on the British. "15 divisions or 14 divisions, it's a lot of equipment lost. So they're suffering a penalty from encirclement. They've brought more troops here. Okay, let's see. What can we research next? Let's go with logistics company. This is also very important if I want to use more divisions and avoid attrition. If the concept of equipment is in this game is similar to supplies in Hearts of Iron 3, it's not really, but equipment is like it's a replacement for the IC. It's more... How can I explain it? Of course, these divisions... What the hell? The divisions will receive equipment when they lose it. So that's similar to the supplies, okay? But the equipment also replaces the building of divisions using IC. It's all... I think it's the most brilliant change to the game. It's the concept of the equipment. Because now we build spare parts, let's say it. Build the equipment itself. Makes the game more realistic. And of course, whenever the divisions on the field lose stuff, guns, tanks, it's gonna be delivered to them, but not by the supply system, but we can think it's fully with the supply system. It's just like reinforcement in Hearts of Iron 3, when your divisions lost men and of course also equipment, but the equipment was abstracted. So it's whenever the game is delivering equipment to the front lines, it's more like the reinforcement of the divisions like in Hearts of Iron 3. It's absolutely brilliant, the concept of the equipment. Now I can say whatever I want because this is not the game was released, so I can review it. I can say my opinion. G is saying, so it's a mix between the upgrade tab and the supplies tab. Not the only connection that equipment has with supply is, but it's abstracted. It's not related with supplies, you know. There are no supplies in this game. This is just like, you ever played EU4? This is just like almost like the supply system in EU4, where each province has an ability to supply the troops, and there are flags in the game. So for example, if this is connected to a capital or a port, this is a supply area. If this area is connected by land to a port, or as a port, or is connected by land to the capital, it's considered to be in supply, okay? Or if the infrastructure is in good shape, it has supply. It has the ability to supply, for example, in this case, 45.47 supplies. But there are actually no supplies in the game. It's just either the province has the ability to supply the troops, or it doesn't have the ability to supply the troops, right? So if it ends up being surrounded, it might not have the ability to supply the troops, and the troops will starve. But there are no supplies in the game, just flags on, off, with regard to supply. This is a very clever replacement for the Hearts of Iron 3 supply system, even though it's different. Anyway, let's play. Ravi Piskis is asking, so now that the game is out, how do you like it? Is it worth buying? Well, that's something that you have to decide for yourself if you like what you're seeing. There are lots of stuff that I like in this game, other stuff that I don't like as much. I guess I'll talk about that later, but if it was worth buying for me, yeah, sure. But you have to decide for yourself if you like what you're seeing. I can only tell you my opinion, if I like the game or not. There were some changes that made the game more realistic, like the equipment. It's brilliant, but the AI is I don't want to be offensive, but the AI is pretty bad. It's worse than in Hearts of Iron 3. Much worse. It's worse because of, I mean, it's worse. There are several changes to the game, and the AI simply, at the moment, cannot cope. But I'm sure it's gonna be fixed. I'm not gonna use the battle plans anytime soon. Because the AI simply cannot cope. If people say that the battle plans are great, it's because they haven't experienced using the AI in Hearts of Iron 3. This is just fancy arrows, you know. It's pretty. The map is gorgeous. The game... I don't want to talk too much about this, but... let's just say that I'm not gonna use the battle plans anytime soon, unless I have to. Concept of the attrition can be deadly in this game. The attrition is very deadly. If I give, say, 200, 100 divisions, for example, I've seen this while playing in South America, as Brazil. There are some areas here with a gigantic amount of attrition, so Brazil can be very strong very fast. I gave... You can say it, well, it's your fault. You gave the divisions too. You gave an headquarter a dude too many divisions. But the thing is that the AI was capable of leaving 40 divisions in one place, suffering a gigantic amount of attrition, while next door there were only 3 or 4 divisions. So lots of work to be done there. Mythico Machu, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you please elaborate? How is air and naval in Hearts of Iron 4? I have no experience with naval warfare. Warfare. I have very little experience. But it's basically a spreadsheet in the background, since there are no units on the field. Of course, this game is gonna improve for sure, so I already said things that I consider brilliant. I'm sure there are more, but I just need to play some more. So you can expect from me, whenever I see something that I like, I'm gonna praise it. Whenever I see things that I don't like, I'm gonna criticize them, giving my opinion. So the thing that I don't like in this game right now is the AI, and if someone tells you the AI is great, it's because the people saying that doesn't have meaning a way to compare it with previous game. They probably never played Hearts of Iron 3, or they simply cannot compare it. So people saying that the battle plans are great most likely never used the previous version. The current battle plans are bad and micro intensive. So it's probably less work for me to do this manually than trying to do battle plans where I failed to play the game in a sensible way and just gonna increase your losses. It's very bad. But I'm expecting this to improve. So but if the game is fun, they've managed to, at the same time, from what I see, from what I saw, they've managed to reduce very much the chances of seeing stuff like Luxembourg World Conquest, for example, or Albanian World Conquest. But at the same time, they've managed to make the game fun, at least for most small countries, the majority of the small countries. Of course, going back a little bit, I may still use the battle plans if I'm going for World Conquest or something, because doing it all manually might be a shit ton of work, you know? Guess we'll see. I mean, now I'm fighting just here against the French, but if I'm fighting France over here, if I'm fighting China over here at the same time, if I'm fighting the US or someone over here at the same time, you can see that's gonna be very hard for one person to micromanage, unless of course the game is always paused. But one thing I'm certain, with the previous system I was much more effective. Perignis is saying also do use MP, it's a free off brigade for no width. MPs are free. By the way, I didn't research them, I need to research them. That's as top priority. Thank you for reminding me. In 7 days I'm gonna research. I'm already researching them. I didn't know they were free. Are you sure they're free? They don't cost anything? Seems weird. Okay, let's go over there to support those guys, I guess. Ah, that's stupid. Let's go to north of France. Viper is asking if I have experienced any technical issues with the game, like crashes. Nope. The game very stable. It has, from what I've seen, it has some bugs, but nothing too serious. I mean, there are a few that can be annoying, but no crashes. Very polished release with regard to almost everything. The game runs very smoothly at the beginning. It only starts slowing down a bit when everyone is at war. But like I said, no crashes. There we go. We have an invasion here. And these type of invasions are very annoying to deal with. So that's why we always want to garrison the ports. The thing is, we don't have equipment. We are being bombed the hell out. They're bombing the hell out of our stuff, or simply I already have unrest. So these guys are destroying all the factories here. The partisans. This is a great change too from the previous game. It's much better to, and I would say some also more realistic to have to deal with the unrest this way. I mean, partisans causing issues, destroying factories, destroying infrastructure, destroying everything if left unchecked, then having to do whack-a-mole just like in EU4 and the previous game. So that's very welcome change. Cristobal is saying DDR Jake El Salvador mid-game performance was horrible. I don't know. I just noticed it a very noticeable slowdown of the game, but it was bearable, at least for me. Not as bad as in Stellaris, for example. Stellaris, wow. The slowdown was almost unbearable. The game is great and everything, but not fun when it crawls. Need to deal with these. So let's try to give this area to the AI. At least to contain it while we finish off this pocket. So what do we need? Resources. Screw it. So what do we need? Guess they're doing a great job screwing all my factories. But I'm sure these are captured factories.